world is already scared of America's Air Force. So can you imagine what happens when America develops its most advanced 6th generation fighter jet? Colossal, isn't it? The American Air Force is controversially the best in the world. Even nations like Germany purchase some of the top fighter jets in the nation's arsenal. Yet, things are about to get even juicier with the 6th generation fighter jets. Do you want to know how? Then watch this video compiled by Military Technology Updates to the end. There is no doubt that America's 5th generation fighter jets have wowed the world for a while with their superior technology, survivability, maneuverability, and destructive authority. Yet the nation that is fond of being ahead of others is at it again with its intention to develop the 6th generation fighter jets. This is unprecedented for observers who cannot get enough of the features of the 5th generation fighter jets. Earlier this year, Germany announced intention to equip its army with the F-35 Lightning II. It was a decision that many observers and citizens of the nation applauded because it showed that Germany did not want to be left behind when it came to the Air Force. It was a decision that would definitely boost the Air Force's dominance and superiority of the nation. However, when other countries think they could purchase F-35 Lightning II fighter jets to match America, the country will take its Air Force game a notch higher with its plan to develop 6th generation fighter jets. What are 6th generation fighter jets? Theoretically, a 6th generation fighter jet is an advanced aircraft with drone companions, increased stealth, and is powered with artificial intelligence. However, perhaps the most fascinating feature of these jets is their ability to heal themselves after they've been damaged. When fully developed, these jets will definitely make any nation think twice before engaging America in warfare. According to the US Air Force, the crux of its next-generation air dominance system is the development of its 6th generation fighter jet. Based on the explanation of General Charles Q. Brown, the USAF Chief of Staff, this jet is being developed as a replacement for the F-22 Raptor. It will be a multi-role fighter that will be able to carry out the functions of several fighter jets, effectively replacing them. General Charles asserted that the development of these jets aimed to achieve air dominance. However, they will also have the capability to strike ground targets. He also stated that the 6th generation fighter jet would be equipped with air-to-ground ability to enhance its survivability while offering solid options to the Joint Force and Air Commanders. In comparison to the F-22 Raptor, 6th generation fighter jets will have more weapons and will be able to operate effectively in the Indo-Pacific region. It will also have more weapons load, so there is no doubt that these fighter jets will be massive upgrades on the current fighter jets available to the American Air Force. What about the F-35? General Charles claimed that the 6th generation fighter jets would replace the F-22 Raptor. Yet the question is, what about the F-35? It has not been up to 2 years since these advanced fighter jets were developed, but the US Air Force is already talking about a new fighter jet. F-35 fighter jets are regarded as the best globally due to their enhanced survivability, connectivity, and superior stealth mode. However, they are also capable of carrying nuclear weapons, which is why 13 European nations and counting have acquired them. So why does the nation need an improved version? One of the trump cards of the F-35 fighter jets is their stealth. However, this is no longer an edge against savvy opponents. Therefore, there is a need to leverage kinetic hard-kill active protection systems to offer improved defense to warplanes such as these because they are vulnerable to anti-aircraft weapons and long-range sensors. Moreover, F-35 emphasized ground strikes above air dominance, which makes it come short compared to some of the best fighter jets in the world. So the 6th generation will be developed to rectify some of the flaws of the 5th generation models. The 6th generation fighter jets will also have a larger blended wing airframe that will make them capable of carrying more weapons and a larger fuel tank. It is expected that the 6th generation fighter jets will have two variants. One will be developed to navigate the short ranges in case of battles in Europe, while the other will be modified for fighting in the Indo-Pacific regions. Why is the American Air Force in a hurry to develop the 6th generation fighter jets? It is evident that the US Air Force will have to upgrade the 5th generation jet fighters due to some of their flaws. However, what is baffling to many observers is why the nation is in a hurry to develop the 6th generation fighter jets. One of the reasons for this is that nations like Germany, France, the United Kingdom, and Japan are not interested in developing 5th generation fighter jets. Instead, they want to build 6th generation fighter jets, which will make their Air Force superior to the US Air Force. But of course, the Americans will not like that. And that's why the nation is planning aggressively to begin the development of 6th generation models. Besides, stealth aircraft is fast becoming an obsolete piece of technology due to new sensors and intelligent tactical ploys. So it is essential that the US Air Force is ahead of the game to avoid being left behind in the never-ending arms race. Before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, Military Technology Updates. Let's continue with the video. So, are the 6th generation fighter jets feasible? The US Air Force has begun working on its next generation air dominance program that will enable it to develop its 6th generation fighter jet. Yet, there are reasons to be concerned about the feasibility of this project. The central idea behind this new model is a concept known as the penetrating counter-air. It is meant to equip the airplane with the ability to frustrate anti-access area denial efforts of China and Russia. However, achieving this aim might not be feasible because it will need the kind of radar-absorbent materials that are not yet in existence. Therefore, the success of this project is on a knife edge. Another potential problem is its requirement for longer-range missiles. Even if the 6th generation fighter jets are equipped with the best kind of stealth characteristics the world has ever seen, they must not be close to their opponents to avoid being shot down. Therefore, it is critical that they are equipped with long-range missiles. The best in the market is the AIM-120 Advanced Medium-Range Air-to-Air Missile. Unfortunately, it has been improved at various points in the last 25 years to a point where it is no longer feasible to enhance its range. These missiles can only travel as far as 99 miles. Even the AIM-120D cannot go beyond 124 miles. So developing a 6th generation fighter jet might be a challenge because it requires missiles that can travel beyond this distance to avoid being vulnerable to opponents' attacks. The feasible solution to this problem is long-range supersonic missiles. Is it possible to develop a giant airplane with improved engines and a loyal wingman? Another cause of concern regarding the possibility of developing 6th generation models is that it would require a large airframe to accommodate more missiles to give it a superior first look, first shot edge. The problem with equipping a fighter jet with a large airframe is that it will need improved engines. Also, it is recommended that the aircraft has an ever-loyal wingman drone such as the XQ-58A Valkyrie to enhance its lethality. Therefore, the developers might encounter complications that might make them rethink whether it is worth the stress in the long run. The development of the F-35 led to frustrations due to the contradicting demands of the US Navy and the Air Force. The fighter jet was only capable of meeting 20% of the common needs on both forces. Therefore, it is understandable that the two forces are not keen to develop the next generation of fighter jets jointly. The Navy wants a 6th generation fighter jet known as FAXX, while the Air Force wants a penetrating counter-air model. The former will serve as an interceptor to offer maximum protection for Navy carriers against missiles and enemy bombers. Meanwhile, the penetrating counter-air will specialize in protecting the Air Force from enemy fighters and serve as a long-range escort fighter. Besides, the US Air Force is keen on developing a fighter jet that will emphasize air superiority. So these differences might delay the development of the 6th generation models. Are there reasons for optimism? Despite the potential challenges that might hamper the development of these 6th generation fighter jets, there are reasons to be optimistic about the possibility of developing them. The potential obsoleteness of stealth technology is usually the stick critics use to beat the need to develop a 6th generation fighter jet that leverages stealth technology. Indeed, this argument has its merits, yet it also has loopholes. For example, stealth technology is evolving, and the current materials used, which are called B-2 bombers' radar-absorbent materials, are not as redundant as critics want people to believe they are. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency has worked tirelessly to improve this technology. It is expected that the institution will lead the enhancement of stealth technology that will make the 6th generation fighter jets feasible. 5th generation F-35s utilize the AN/ASQ-239 electronic warfare suite, which is expected to improve considerably before the 6th generation model is ready. Also, the AIM-260 tactical missile is expected to improve in terms of range in the coming years. So, there are more than enough reasons to believe that every obstacle to the development of these fighter jets can be eradicated before it is ready. When will the 6th generation jet fighters be available? France, Spain, and Germany are working on a 6th generation fighter jet that will help them to strengthen their autonomy in terms of security. This will reduce or even eliminate the dependence on the US. This move was made to avoid finding themselves in limbo in case the US decides to withdraw its force from Europe, which happened during the tenure of President Donald Trump. However, it is not expected that it will be ready until 2040. The US is trying to work ahead of time, but despite the commitment and positive signs, it is not expected that the fighter jets will be completed until around 2030. So there is still time for all the improvements in the current technology to make 6th generation jet fighters a reality. The time factor is one of the most concrete reasons for optimism regarding the feasibility of these jets that will make the world even more scared of the American Air Force. In conclusion, exciting times are ahead for the US Air Force and its supporters. The dawn of the 6th generation jet fighters might be closer than anticipated. Do you think the US will eventually develop these jet fighters? Will the US develop them before the other nations embark on this project? We'd be glad to hear from you in the comment section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, then leave a like and ensure to subscribe to this channel to watch more videos from military technology updates.